Alrighty, so today we're back in the kitchen and we're going to be pressure canning some beans.
I'm coming home.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Casey. So I have been joining in on a lot of these fun little challenges on Instagram and YouTube, and also some great live chats from different channels and farms. And one question and topic that I hear a lot is, what is your favorite thing to pressure can and how do you pressure can? So today we're going to do something really simple. I ain't gonna claim to be a master canner or any of that. I learned it during, COVID, the 2020 lockdown. But this is one of the easiest things to pressure can. It takes a little bit of time, but it's great to have on the shelves, and that is beans. So we are gonna go ahead and soak some black beans and some pinto beans today so that we can can them and have them ready for the winter. So let's move it over right here. You can see I have two of my large pots, because you want larger pots because, believe me, they're gonna swell up thick and you don't wanna run out of pots. So we're gonna soak those for about an hour and then we'll move on to the next step. So let's go grab all the equipment. Alrighty, so we're down in our little canning area right here. And I'm gonna grab some pinto beans and some black beans from down here, because this is where we store our bulk stuff, such as like the beans and the sugar and the flour, so on. So yeah, and then I'm gonna grab some jars because I'm gonna be doing it in pint jars today. Just so we have, because it's easier to just dump those in like a chili or something instead of the quarts. Or if we want refried beans for a Mexican meal. And I'm doing a small batch just for this, so I'm gonna have gallon Ziploc bags. And I'm just gonna put about 4 to 8 cups in each gallon Ziploc bag, and then we'll go back up to where the pots are. Alrighty, so I'm gonna kind of explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So basically, once you dump the beans into the pot, you're gonna wanna wash them first. So I like to rinse them 2 to 3 times and basically just fill them up with water, stir them around, check for any rocks or debris that may be in the beans, strain the water, and then do it again another couple of times. And as you see, I'm doing that for both the black and the pinto beans. And you'll kind of know when you want to stop rinsing them on the color of the water. Now, all of this I learned from 2 of my favorite YouTube channels, Andrea over at VW Family Farm and Sarah over at Living Traditions Homestead. So I always do a shout out when I learned it from another channel. And then once you've rinsed it completely, you're going to want to fill it up with water in a pan until it's at least 2 inches above the beans. So at least 2 inches above the beans. We're kind of doing like a sped up soaking. And then you're gonna, as you can see behind me, the pots now are on the stove with the 2 inches of water above it. And you're gonna bring it up to a boil. And once it comes up to a boil, you're going to then turn it off, cover, and let it sit for an hour. So we will be with you after all of that happens. I will show you the boil though. I also wanted to add that we buy our beans in bulk. That's the most economical way to do it. It's really cheap. I am planning to start using Azure Standard. All the homesteaders talk about that. If you've not heard about Azure Standard, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll do a video on it if you want me to talk about Azure Standard. But also, what is your favorite way of using canned beans. So leave that in the comment section below. I'd love to try it. I may actually pick out one of the comments and do a video with that commenter. So definitely leave a comment. So while we're waiting for it to come up to a boil, I'm gonna jump in and let Mom show you. We're actually making a bean soup too. It's a bean kind of day in the crock pot, and then I'll be canning that tomorrow. So I'm gonna jump it over and let Mom talk about it.
I am making some bean soup today. Last night I soaked.
And I'm gonna be canning it tomorrow.
Yep. Last night I soaked black beans, black-eyed peas, and pinto beans. And then I put a can of kidney beans in today. And then I cut up half an onion and put in lots of spices and a ham hock. So this is it. Let's see if I can see. There it is. And we had it on high for about an hour and it started bubbling, so now it's down to low, and we'll just keep mixing it and see how it turns out.
Alrighty, y'all, so this is now boiling. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off the stove. I'm going to cover it. And we're gonna let this sit for 1 hour. See you then. So I decided to do a voiceover instead because the sound was not that great because of the National Tennis Tournament on. So you wanna make sure that you are thoroughly washing your jars and then checking the rim for any cracks or dents that will hint the ceiling. Fill up your canner as you see that I did in the back. And then fill up the beans. So you want to fill up the beans in the can until it's 1 inch headspace. That's a generous 1 inch headspace, and then we're going to backfill with water. So as you see, I'm filling all the black beans, the pinto beans. I had so much left over, y'all. Oh my gosh. And then backfill with the water. Again, until it's right above the beans and at a 1 inch headspace. As you see, I got lazy and decided to put it in a measuring cup. You want to wipe the rims with a dampened, I like to put a vinegar on it to make sure there's no debris. And then add your tops and rings to finger tight, and place them in the canner. My Presto canner can do double layer of pints, and it does about 16 at a time of the wide mouth. The first batch is in. Now we're waiting for the seam to start, and I have more. It made 30 pints. It's a lot of beans. Alrighty, when you see the steam going, let it steam for 10 minutes. I don't know if you really can even see it. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Let it steam for 10 minutes, and then you're gonna put the weight on. And this air vent will pop up when it starts flowing freely and the pressure is built up in there. Real quick thing that I wanted to add in is I just actually had some issues with our air vent on our pressure canner. So if I can give any good advice, and I posted this on Instagram too, make sure you know where your Presto pressure canner, if I can say it, Presto pressure canner, make sure you know where the manual is, and when in doubt, join us here on YouTube and look it up. Alrighty, our timer has gone off, so you want to put on your Presto canner weight. And we are doing 75 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure because of our elevation. Check your elevation. You may have to add 5, which would make it 15 pounds of pressure for 75 minutes. We'll see you once we start our timer. Alrighty, it has come up to 10 pounds of pressure, so now you want to start your timer for the 75 minutes, and that's for pints. I'm doing pints, so that's 75 minutes for pints. So I forgot to mention this as I was shooting, but once your 75-minute timer has gone off for your pints, make sure to turn off the burner and move your pressure canner to another burner and wait for the pressure to come down. Once the pressure has come down, you can take off that weight. And I like to wait 10 minutes and then turn it and let it sit on top of each other, the lid. I like to do this process very slow, so back to the video. So the pressure has come back down to 0 and the little knobby thing, the air vent, has dropped. I've pulled off the weight and I've unscrewed it and slanted it on top of each other. We're gonna do that for 10 minutes, then take the first batch out. Alrighty y'all, so the first batch is out. And I'm gonna be honest, I had a little bit of spillage, but as you hear, they're still popping. It's music to a canner's ears. So I'm really tired. I have the second batch on, so I will touch back with y'all in the morning to see how many cans actually sealed properly because of the issues that we had with the air vent thing at the very beginning. So see you in the morning. It'll only be like a YouTube second, but alright. Alrighty y'all, so it's the next morning. And as you see, all of them have sealed, but because of the spillage, they're a little dirty. But the best thing to do is use a vinegar water solution just to clean them off. You should do that anyways before you put them up. Label them and then put them down in your canning area. So y'all, thank you so much for tuning into this canning video. If you're enjoying canning videos from our channel, make sure to like and subscribe and share it to people that are like-minded on social media. Follow us on social media. Instagram, Facebook at Ormsby Farm. Till next video, be blessed.
I'm coming home.